How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? You know that song, you know that sound, you know that voice. That means it's the weekend, and as always, it is time for the James Freel Show. I'm your host, James Freel, performing the 51st episode of the weekly James Freel Show for Friday, December 14th, 2018. Can you believe it's 2018 already? I sure can. I mean, it does feel like it's going by pretty fast, but as always, it's time for the James Freel Show, and last week I thought I did a pretty good job with the show, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to match it, but hey, maybe, I think a few months ago I made the analogy that I was on the rebuilding season, or the off-season. Maybe I made a few decent trades, and maybe, let's go ahead and say that last week was game one. It was week one of my season, and came out with a great win against a tough team. How do you like that? How do you like that? Alright, anyway. Yeah, bootleg copy, again. I feel I shouldn't even have to mention it at this point, and I shouldn't even have to mention that I shouldn't have to mention it at this point. But yes, bootleg version this week. Next week, I will finally be back in studio, and I'm very much looking forward to that. I think it's been like, probably a month. Yeah, I think so. I think it's been a month since I've been able to sit in front of a microphone. And even though the sound quality really isn't much different when I do it that way, it still feels like, makes my show feel a little more legitimate, a little more like I'm putting some sort of effort into it. Of course, I haven't really put effort into the show since the summer. And by effort, I mean I used to print out all the news stories and the topics I was going to do. I've just been winging it just because I've been relatively busy with work, at least comparatively speaking. I don't like being like, I've been so busy, because it really seems like, I don't know if I am busy or if I'm just not busy at all, because when you talk to someone who says they're busy, I'm not sure if they make it that way, because I've heard some people who say they're busy, and then I look at what they got going on, it doesn't seem that bad, and then I've seen other people who never complain about it, and I don't know how they do anything. And I'm not saying that if you complain, you're not busy, but what I'm saying is I have no way of calculating or getting a good idea of how busy I really am, or what busy is. Anyway, before we get into the rambling, of course, let's go into news for the uninformed, which again has sort of evolved into me Googling the top news stories of the day in those categories and reading them aloud. So let's see what we got here. That Mueller stuff keeps going on. This week, that's the story. Michael Cohen, unless that happened last week, I don't think it did. He got 3 years. Yeah, I would have remembered if I did that. Dow sheds nearly 500 points on weaker economic outlook for China. That doesn't sound good. Republican Wisconsin governor curbs incoming Democrats' powers. Oh, wow. All this other stuff. But yeah, the Michael Cohen dude got 3 years. I'm wondering if I'm living through like a Watergate. Or, I mean, from what I understand, from people I listen to and who I trust, the truth is, we just don't know. We don't know yet. We will. It could be bad. It could be good. Who knows? But yeah, it'll be interesting to know if we're like living through a Watergate right now. Because I'm fascinated by Watergate. I love studying that topic. It's relatively interesting. I may have to hit pause at some point if someone comes up. I just don't know right now. All right. So in sports? The LA Chargers defeated the Kansas City Chiefs last night on a 2-point conversion. And I gotta say, that was I didn't stay up for it. Like I said. But, it was I heard it was a great game. I mean, when I went to bed, I think they're still San Diego Chargers to me. They were down by 14. They came back and won 29-28. And I like the play call because you're playing the Chiefs, you know. I don't know if your defense can hold that back or at least do it for so long. Look at me making commentary on a game I didn't watch. Alrighty, and finally we got to go over to top pop culture news today. Let's see what we got here. This is always the hardest category to find stuff for. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's difficult. Hollywood still casts based on looks even as it makes strides to diversify. See, actress Gian Rodriguez is on a mission. See, these are all super vague things, and I want like, oh, okay, here we go, yeah. Kanye says Drake threatens him. Kim Kardashian weighs in on the feud. Yeah, so Drake said something about Kanye, and stuff's going on in pop culture like that. Kanye West went on a lengthy Twitter rant Thursday night to address multiple facets of his feud with Drake, and then accused the rapper of threatening him, which prompted his wife to come to his defense. The tweet storm seemed to stem from Drake asking for clearance from Kanye for Drake's song Say What's Real. The song uses parts of Kanye's song Say You Will, so Drake would need Kanye's approval to put the recording on streaming services. Kanye tweeted a screenshot of a text from an unknown person making the request to them saying, still needs an apology for mentioning the free Drake sent in clearance, say for real. Anyway, so that's a thing going on. Alright, so that's this week's edition of News for the Uninformed, and now we're going to move on to the rambling section. Alright, so we're off to a slow start against a mediocre opponent, but we got to keep going. We're not off to a slow start, we're neck and neck with a mediocre opponent, so it's not looking great. So, I mentioned this last week, and I'm going to update you. I did win last week, barely, but I did win, and I made the playoffs in my fantasy league. And despite the fact that I started the wrong quarterback, I started Russell Wilson over Andrew Luck. I don't think Russell Wilson broke 10 points, and Andrew Luck scored 24.5. So the only reason I won is because I was playing one of the worst teams in the league. That said, I still got a chance of winning this game, this week, because that Kansas City game last night really helped me out because I made the number 4 seed. So that means I'm playing number 1 this week. And championship semifinal. Right now I've got a 45 chance of winning. He's got a 55 chance. Yeah, basic math, we understand. He had Tyreek Hill, and he was projected to get 18.83 points. He only got 8 points. Phillip Rivers, he did well. I was an idiot and didn't realize I had the Chargers as my defense. I mean, because I just don't pay attention to stuff like that. It's not like your defense scores you that many points anyway. But regardless, it is what it is. I still don't think I'm going to win. It's an uphill battle. I still don't know. Should I start Russell Wilson or Andrew Luck? Everyone's telling me I need to start Andrew Luck. Russell Wilson. But last week my gut told me Andrew Luck. This week it's telling me I just don't know. I may just leave it I can wait until Sunday to decide who I'm going to start. We'll just have to see. We will have to see. Someone on the 2 against 3 game, the 2 seed versus the 3 seed, the second seed's going to win. The other guy is in Mexico and does not have Wi-Fi and could not swap out his bench. So he's done. We'll see what happens. I will update you next week on whether or not I won, but I can't decide. If anyone tweets me, if anyone out there listens to this, and you tweet me at James Freel Show, Russell Wilson or Andrew Luck, I will start it based on that. I got Brandon Cooks from LA Rams, Stephon Diggs, good thing he's playing, Ezekiel Elliott, Miller from Houston, Joe Mixon. We're just going to have to see. We're going to have to see. It would be awesome if I could win, but I don't think I'm going to. All right. Moving on from that. Yeah, one of the guys, the number 2 seed, is like, it's adorable that you think that we're playing this for money. And I'm like, dude, if you win, you're going to be demanding everyone pay up. And because he didn't pay, and only like the lower level employees did. But like, I think I told the story last week how the guy running the league was on speakerphone and was telling him, no, everyone's going to pay. I know you didn't pay. They're just bantering back and forth. All right, so moving on. So I've got some exciting news that happened this week. On Wednesday, I met with my academic advisor because, as you know, I'm almost done with school, and now I'm even closer to being done with it. I was extremely, extremely nervous about this because how he would answer my question completely could alter how my college career would end, how long it would last, how much more I would have, how much money I would owe. And so basically, I've mentioned to all of you before on previous shows, at one point I wanted to go to law school. That's why I got a bachelor's degree in philosophy. And while I did that, I had taken 2 biology courses. And then, while I was in the program I'm in now, which is essentially a trade program, it's a technical program. They require that you take a biology course. And so I was like, okay, and then I had started it at one point, and it was extremely, extremely difficult. Like, I could not finish anything, and I wound up dropping it because it was so difficult. And it was an anatomy course. And at one point, a few months ago, it was probably about 6 months ago, my advisor asked me, what are these biology classes you have on your transcript? And I mentioned what they were, and he's like, oh, so they're not anatomy. But this academic advisor, he has a huge reputation for let's say, for writing off classes, because the school is pretty desperate to have graduates. And so I thought, okay, maybe a few months later I'll come back and I will ask again, and maybe like say, oh, they covered anatomy. But the thing is I'm a horrible liar. You could tell from all that time I said I was from Toledo. Go back and listen to those, and you can tell how incredibly convincingly I told you that I was from Toledo. It's not convincing at all. And so basically, if he tried to cross-examine what I would say, I knew it might all fall apart, and he might accuse me of lying or whatever. So that was that, and basically he, so I go in, I've got the meeting, I'm worried he's not going to be there. He winds up, he's there, and I go in, and my plan was to say these specific words. So, you may not remember, but I graduated from an undergraduate program, and I took 2 classes that transferred over as biology credits. And as if he was going to ask, I was going to say they covered units on anatomy, which would be somewhat, it would be stretching the truth. There really was no anatomy, but he cut me off right when I said transferred over as biology. He's like, oh, and you want to use that for that? He's like, yeah, we can do that. So that was amazing. And then he was looking at the rest of it. When I came in, he's like, you should be pretty much done soon, right? And I said, I have about 2 more semesters. And then he's like, well, let's look here. And so as soon as he approved that one, then I have 5 classes left. And he says, well, what about the selective? Well, we can put this in place. And he took a class that I had taken way back in 2013. We're going all the way back then. And he used it as a technical class. And coming in the clutch, it makes me feel like, hey, maybe I didn't completely waste my time doing that. So, yeah, so I have 1 more semester and then I'm done. And that's extremely exciting, not only because of all the time, the stress from the class, but also the money. That's like $1,500 I just got saved from. And yeah, I can't wait to, be done. And another great thing is I have a phone interview. I applied for 2 positions at a very major international company. And this position with it would be my dream. ideal position. And not only that, it would be in Cincinnati, which is where I live. And it would be field service, and it would be imaging, and it would just be so perfect. And I don't want to apply a whole lot of pressure on myself for it, but I really do want to do my best to nail this phone interview on Tuesday. So people always say you should just be yourself, but what if yourself isn't that good? I mean, myself is to be quiet and mumble and be insecure, and that's why I do this. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I gotta find a place to talk on the phone because I'm gonna have to do it while I'm at work. There's really no other time and place to do it. I gave them my availability, and I wanted to give them convenient hours to do it. So we'll see. I got a feeling that this interview will be mostly weed out questions to see if, because it's a preliminary thing. It's like, okay, is this person worth interviewing? Is that one? This one might be a good candidate. Let's see how they respond to this. What is their background? What are they interested in? So, yeah, we'll see. We will see. I know. You want to say that one more time, James? You want to do it one more time? You think they got the idea? Okay, they do. So. It's been a long week, and it's not quite over. This is the last Saturday that I will be going into work, because I got that huge check from when I've been working 6 days a week, working a lot of overtime, and it's been exhausting. I've been pretty tired. Last Sunday, my special lady friend came over. My siblings were there. We decorated the tree. And I don't know if you guys recall, way back, this was probably episode, I want to say 34 or something. I told the story about how the carpet, and I burnt it like an idiot, and I placed the thing over it. The house that I was watching was my brother's special lady friend's family's house. They were on vacation. That's why I was selected to watch it. And I told them jokingly, and I just explained, and I did get a sigh of relief, like, hey, they've been looking to redo that carpet for a while, so hopefully, I told her I'd appreciate it if she came, or not came over, but didn't explain that to anyone. And honestly, this person is extremely sweet and extremely nice, so I think she would, but it wouldn't surprise me if she saw it as not a big deal, and so wound up telling her parents. I bet she'll go and look and try to find it at this point. So yeah, I'm hanging in there. Right now, I got a solid 4-point lead over my opponent. Field goal won't get it done. I'm still in there in the trenches. This episode's not going to go up until tomorrow. I didn't bring my laptop with me, so I've already broken that seal of not consistently getting it up Friday, but I haven't missed a week of doing it, and I think that's what's most important. When you wind up missing a week, that's when stuff gets bad. I can't believe I'm almost done with this degree, which has been very, very rewarding and nice. I'm just glad it's almost over, I'm almost done with school, most likely for good. I don't know, I might go back. I can't see why, though. I just want to work, get this student loan debt taken care of. It's going to take a good 5-6 years of busting our butts to just put every piece we can at it. Just keep on chugging, keep on attacking. We've built it up. It can be done. And with all the money I've saved from not having to take those 2 classes, the closer I get to graduating, that money will probably go towards it. So, moving on. So Sunday, I had a great time because the Cowboys played the, I'm going to say the Eagles? Wow. Look how great of a fan I am. Yeah, let's see. Let's look. It was week 14. Yeah, it was Cowboys and Eagles in overtime. I gotta say, my brother-in-law, he's kind of a snarky know-it-all, and he likes to give me a lot of crap because I like seeing the Cowboys win. And I don't know if you saw it, but the ball got popped into the air, and Amari Cooper grabbed it on the deflection and ran in. Cowboys won it, and I was extremely excited, so I jumped up and started cheering like a maniac. Like, yeah, all right, yeah, go Cowboys. And he's like, oh, look at me, I have no connection to this team. It's like, what? And I told him, he's like, oh, and here's Captain Buzzkill. It's like, why can't you just let me enjoy things? I don't know. Yeah, am I wrong for being upset by, I shouldn't let it get to me. I really shouldn't. But I do have one rant I'm about to give. All right. And this rant may make me look like a loser. I mean, I already look like a loser for doing this show, but I'm going to go ahead and give it. So, I am a shy person. You may not know it if your only impression of me is listening to this show, but I am socially awkward. I lack social skills. And one of the big things that people like to do, people who are social, who do have a social life, when they see that you're social, they want to help you out. They want to be like, oh, you should go, you need to talk to more people, you need to go do this, you need to go do that. And I've always felt like they meant well when they do that. And a lot of times, especially when it's people who I think are nice people and who I wouldn't mind being friends with, when they say that to me, it makes me want to work harder to be social. So this week, I asked two people at work who I am friendly with. I wouldn't say I'm friends with them. I'm very friendly with them. They've always been nice. We like to give each other crap. We like to, talk sports. We like to talk video games, movies, books. And I went out on a limb and I thought, you know what? I should invite a few people from work to my wedding, which is coming up in less than a year. I'm not going to give the specific date because someone might listen to this that I know. And anyway. And I asked both of them, like, hey, I'd love it if you guys could come to my wedding. I didn't ask them at the same time. One of them was a month ago, got the same reaction. And I don't have an issue. I just said, they both said, yeah, sure. And I could tell. The first guy who I said, okay, just give me your address when you get a chance, because I could tell he was hesitant about wanting to go, and, I can read people. And I'm not upset for them not wanting to go, because I get it. I'm an odd guy. I lack social skills. What does upset me is that they tell me to constantly encourage me to be social, to see more people, to invite more people, go be more social. And this rejection that I received, I didn't even get rejected, just neither of them gave me their address. And the way I see it is, if they want to go, they'd give me their address right away. I'm not going to hunt them down and try to get it from them. I'm not going to be that guy, because that just seems a little clingy. If they wind up remembering and giving it to me, that's great. I would love for that to happen. It would actually mean a lot to me. But, the way I see it, the ball is completely in their court. I hope no one listens to this episode. I don't want you thinking I'm a total loser. I have plenty of people who are coming to my wedding, for other friends who I'm very excited who are going. This happened to be two people at work who I thought, oh, I should invite some work people. And I was extremely nervous about it. And basically, I think the least they could have done is given me their address and then just RSVP no. Just say, oh, sorry, man, I can't make it that weekend. I guess it was an uncomfortable circumstance that I took a risk and it played out. But I will basically say this. This is why I'm not social. Because I'm horrible at judging what social invites are appropriate and which ones aren't. And in retrospect, I guess this one wasn't, because neither one of them... I'm an odd guy. I have very poor social skills. I'm not good at it. These people have been very nice to me this whole time and made me feel like this was appropriate. I was wrong. It is what it is. Rant over. I don't want to sit there and sound like a negative Nelly. about it. Whoa, I'm down by 7 after that one. Can we send this thing into overtime? Let's see if we can rally the troops. All right, what else do we got to talk about? So the other night, special lady friend and I, we went out to this liquor store. I think I've talked about this one before, but it's the largest one in the United States in Bellevue, Kentucky. And one of my coworkers, not one who I invited, not that guy, but this guy is very friendly, very nice. He told me I need to try out Crown Royal whiskey. And if you listen to the show, you know I am a big fan of whiskey. So I'm not trying it tonight, even though it's Friday, because I got to go work tomorrow, and I want to feel fantastic tomorrow morning so I can plow through the workday. But tomorrow night, I'm definitely giving this stuff a try. You're going to see how much I like it. It looks really good. You know, you can hear that. That's the bottle. Comes in this cool little bag. But while we were there, they had these bottles of Gentleman Jack. And I'm a big fan of that whiskey. It's just like Jack Daniels, which I'm also a fan of, but smoother. I'm pretty sure the only difference is that they... excuse me. I'm pretty sure the only difference is that they charcoal filter it twice, as opposed to once. And when we saw it on the shelf, they had a little sign next to it that said, free engravings. Take it over to the Case Center. You can get this engraved for free. And we thought, maybe we should do that. That sounds like it'd be a fun thing to do. We can put Mr. and Mrs., my last name, Mr. and Mrs. Freel on it, and then our wedding date, and save it until our wedding day. And maybe we can have some that night as a celebratory thing, and keep it and only use it for very, very special occasions. That whiskey traveled its whole life to be a wedding brew. Yeah, maybe. We're thinking of going tonight. First, we're going to get some dinner. She's got a gift card. She's been working really hard all week with her job with children. She's in charge of all these recitals. It's been some have been going. The great thing about that job is, even though it's really stressful, it's kind of like your exam week. If you're someone who takes pride in when you do really, really well, exam week can be awesome if you've got some momentum going. If it sucks, it's not. That's a bad analogy, because even if you're doing well, it can just be a relief. It's not really a victory. Regardless, I'm pretty proud of her in that respect. She's doing pretty well. All right, we got 3 more minutes. We just tied it up. It's in overtime. That whiskey story was all right. Oh man, if I spend the rest of this show just making sports analogies, I'll definitely lose this game. We'll see. I've had that theme going on throughout the whole thing. Oh, what else did I do this week? Came over then. I had a pretty good lunch today. Is that what we're talking about, lunch? You think that's going to get this team down the field? Talking about your lunch. 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. It was good, though. It was fish. It was cod. It was pretty good, if you ask me. Oh, so yeah, I guess we're going to have to wrap up with that. Maybe this game will end in a tie. I'm 1-0-1 now. We'll say that. I gotta really cheer on. Hope that my fantasy team does well. If I win this game, I got a chance. We'll just have to see how it goes. Maybe I'll tweet out how my fantasy team is doing, and we'll decide. We'll see where we go. Looking forward to this chicken I got going on tonight. That's what we're doing for dinner. It's a gift card. She got it from one of her parents, not her parents. One of the parents of the children in the recital. All right. Still got about a minute to kill. Any good movies out? Found a new album that I really like. Yeah, go check this out. If I had a following, this album would go blow up right now. I think I've mentioned that I'm a huge Ben Folds fan. The album Way to Normal. It's pretty good. Came out in 2008. Man, every album he makes, in my humble opinion, is a complete masterpiece. In my humble opinion. That's the album that's been like my album of the week. Listened to it quite a few times, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly. Alright, I think that's enough to edit this thing together. It'll be uploaded tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening. That is the podcast. I will see you next week. Cheer for my fantasy team. See you later.